it's time to turn to a topic we haven't talked about in the last 2 days. Love. Right? Love. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have love, am I right? So, but here's the big question we're going to answer today. Can love and success coexist together? Well, yes, unfortunately, a lot of divorces happen because of money. A lot of fights happen over money. Success tears people apart sometimes, right? So love seems to not be stronger sometimes than success. And it is a hard thing for a lot of people. Some of you have a fear of success because you have fear that people will not love you anymore, that they're going to treat you differently, right? Ladies, does love really more powerful if you have a woman who now makes a lot more money than her husband? All of a sudden, love should be stronger than anything. But ego, pride, fear starts eating away at that. Do you understand? These are questions. And by the way, many of you here, that is going to be a reality for you. And I asked our next guest, who came all the way from Zurich, Switzerland, and to really talk about these important issues. Which, by the way, when I teach business, making money, growth, marketing, branding, I don't talk about love. One, because I don't have time. But second of all, it's not like I just do what I do. And sometimes people are like, well, that's all great, but what about this part? Because that's a roadblock. So these 2 days are about getting rid of roadblocks. So please welcome all the way from Zurich, Switzerland. Give her a big round of applause.
Let me know, girl, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and we start real slow.
Stephanie, you heard what I said. Can love and success coexist, or does success tear love apart?
Well, actually, success cannot happen truly without love. Because I love how you explain in business how marketing is the engine, is the vehicle, but then you need branding to be the fuel. So love is our fuel. Our body is our vehicle. So how could we have success if we didn't have love to actually make us being alive? That's truly. And love and success, of course, I heard you say, you know, sometimes the lady can make more money than the guy, and then it creates conflicts. We're not going to talk about that today. Not going to be talking about conflicts, about money and love. But it's really about how we're screwing up our world, our own body, our own health, because we're missing it. We are totally beside it.
So are you saying that some people think they have love, but they don't have love?
Yes, I do think. I don't think, I'm saying that. And I tell you when I say...
Actually, it's kind of crazy, but what is love?
What is love? You know, it's funny because every time people ask me... Yeah, well, exactly. Well, when people ask me what I do and I say I'm a love coach, everybody's like, oh, wow, I got to get your card. But very rarely they leave with my card. And the craziest thing about love is we all want it so deep, like so, our hearts are yearning it. It's crazy. We are so looking for it everywhere. Like, this is the reason why I became a love coach. Actually, I could only become a love coach because all my life I was looking for love outside. You know, another man, another job, another project, another success. I had always to be, you know, looking for something to make me feel like I'm loved.
But aren't you speaking from a woman's perspective?
No.
So aren't men want sex, then love, and women want love, then sex?
Well, love and sex are two different things.
No
really,
shit.
two different things.
But men, like the problem is that from a men's perspective, it's different, isn't it? Like I could see the women, they're like, ah, men are like, like, you see what I mean? Like,
well, you haven't met the right woman.
Pardon me?
You haven't met the right woman.
Well, but I think, I don't know, aren't men and women's brain when it comes to love wired differently? I mean, can you tell me that we're exactly the same?
No, of course. But again, we're not going to talk about sex.
No, but they're just in general. Because here's the thing.
He wants to talk about sex. Have you noticed?
I'm just trying to ask you the question with it, that I'm just going over the reality of it. You're talking about love, but men have a different way of thinking. So, like, for example, you talk about love so passionately and so eloquently, but as a dude, like, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, and by the way, the question is that love has to be mutual, right? It has to be a two-way street. It can't just not be a one-way street. So on one hand, you have this amazing energy, and you explain it really well, but as a guy, it's not maybe registering like it did, and maybe admitting it the way you are would make me feel less manly.
Yeah. Well, actually, love and business are exactly the same, because what you just said now is for it to click, both sides have to be agreeing. They need to desire the same thing. We're talking about business here. And love within business must be, the stronger it is, and the stronger the business will become. Because it is about relationship. It is one of your principles you teach us.
Of course.
And relationship without love, I mean, what is a relationship without love?
So
it's
you're talking
manipulation.
about like a business relationship as well?
Absolutely,
So,
yes.
like, you're saying Damien and I are in love?
Yeah, well, yes, yeah. I mean, what is love? It comes down to that. What is love?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, but then here's the thing. When there comes to be disagreement, like, I think there's a difference, maybe love with a spouse and a business partner. Much easier to walk away from a business partner than maybe like a personal partner as well. So is love not as strong in some areas as another, or?
Well, here's the thing. Love has been totally, like, we're confused about love. We don't know what love is anymore.
Yeah.
I love my dog, I love my hamburger, and I love you, right?
Which, is that the order, or? Because I've never come in third to a hamburger,
Well.
Saggy, come back! I know she will love me first. Dog, hamburger, cheti.
Well, I haven't taken a bite of you yet.
And she says, I want to talk about sex. Jenna 3. God, this has been the weirdest conference of my life. I'm talking about shit I would never talk about, I'm talking about building an empire. Now I gotta talk about love. What's love got to do? Can we get that song?
Well, so to come back to business, and to come back actually to the business of life, to the business of our Mother Earth, is like, we have put intelligence behind, we have put intelligence first, and then the soul and mind. And actually, Jenna yesterday referred to the soul and mind. And we human beings nowadays, we've put intelligence first. So what is happening is we're all in our head. And everything we build, it's always from the head. So my mission, I absolutely vibrate when I speak about that, because it is really about becoming so empowered by the energy of love.
You know what you just said? Should I replay it back for you?
No, because I used the word vibrate. Hey, have you heard of vibration? See, he is totally into sex. I am
The whole audience got
this
turned
thing.
on. All of a sudden, I see dudes going like this. All right?
Well, it's good training for your legs.
Did you just give him a Kim Basic? So, I'm going to ask you one question. People think they're in love, and we talked earlier they may not be in love. What's one sign that maybe you think you're in love, but you're really not in love?
When you're in the head, you cannot feel love. It's impossible. Because the head is actually what is in between your heart and your divine connection. So whatever is controlling here in the middle of what you're here for on this earth, building a business, being in a relationship with someone, friendships, you're off track. It's impossible to be really in love. And that's why we have so much mess, in the relationships. We go after somebody for his money, for his fame, for this, for that, to feel love from the outside. So the key is to really go inside and vibrate love, you know? And this is it. Somebody told me, I see a lot of people nodding like you get it.
Yes,
You know?
the women get it. And then their men's going like this, so they go to their spouse and be like, oh, I
Well,
get it,
that's
honey. I get it.
JT.
Because if not, they'll be like, oh my God, they're going to hire her. Shit. I get it. I get it. I get it.
JT is just old bonus because that's another program just for special men. A men training.
I
Boot
mean,
camp of love.
You know, I think, at the end of the day, as crazy as what a love coach would be, I mean, if you don't have your mind, if you don't love who you are, if you love but not in love with the person, if you don't have a good relationship with your business partner or even your family, all of those are interconnected. I think life is really like a chain. And one weak chain, whether it's the family part, whether it's your business, whether it's a relationship with a partner, whether it's a bad employee, whether it's a relationship with your friends or even your family, like everything is kind of interconnected. And as humans, when one link breaks, it kind of all breaks down apart. And maybe love is that thing that holds all of that crazy. And sometimes we forget. We forget to love our country. We forget to love thy neighbor. We forget to love thyself. So, at the end of the day, it's not as crazy as people think. And I think if there was more love, I think people would be happier. I think there'd be less war. I think there'd be less crime. I always tell people, it's not how big people are when they commit a crime, it's how much they don't care. And these are people who don't love themselves and don't love what they're being. And just like that, they can take your life away. And I think as a man, it's a very embarrassing conversation to have. It's the human nature.
I so understand.
Right.
But I had a wonderful chat earlier today when
With
I
who?
got here
With who?
with a man.
What's his name?
Kenneth.
Just threw you under the bus. There's probably 10 Kenneth.
Oh, Kenneth, he's here in the room. I don't want to point,
Well,
to one
Kenneth,
single
where are
person.
you? Look at you. Are you wearing my tie? That's why you're in love. You know what I mean? Good for you. And also, too, listen, maybe if you want to maximize the love in your life, or you think you have it, or you may not have it, or you really want to know the boundaries of how strong it is, or if you're seeking for it, I think you need to talk to her. What I like about you, it's very easy to talk. It's a very hard subject to talk about, let's just be honest. But the way you talk about it makes all of us feel reassurance. And I think it's been a good complementation to this conference because it's all been about money and Bitcoin, real estate, mindset, powering. But at the end of the day, I think as we saw between me and Ndaba, it got very contentious. But at the end of the day, there was love and mutual respect between the both of us, and we both had the same thing. We both want to see South Africa become the best country it can be, and that's the shared love that will make this country great. Ladies and gentlemen, give her a big round of applause. Good job.